What's up guys, it's Ben Vergitz from Fat Sunny Studios, and today we're going to be talking about the ATEM Mini Pro live production switcher from BlackMagic Design. We're going to be covering setup and how to get it recognized by your computer and different programs associated. We're also going to be talking about how to get it recording and live streaming quick and easy out of the box. We also are going to be covering a few features contained within these programs that are provided with this live production switcher. Let's get started. Okay, so once you have your ATEM Mini Pro, the first thing that you're going to want to do is go to blackmagicdesign.com. Once you're at blackmagicdesign.com, you're going to want to go to the Support tab, click on ATEM Production Switchers, and look at the latest download tab. ATEM Switchers 8.2.2 update is their most current update. You're going to want to download that because that is going to give you the ability to update your switcher. And it also is going to give you two applications that are very important to the setup of your switcher. The first of which is going to be ATEM Setup. Now I've already set mine up, so I have a few of the settings here, but it is recognized by my ATEM Setup software. First thing that you're going to want to do when you unbox your ATEM Mini is you are going to want to plug in your power cable, your Ethernet cable, and your USB cable. Both the USB cable, USB-C cable, and the Ethernet cable are going to go to your computer. Once you have those plugged in and your ATEM Mini is powered on, what you're going to want to do is double check that both are recognized. That's an Ethernet symbol there, and there will be a USB symbol here next to it. Right now my USB is plugged into a hard drive to record this, so my USB symbol will not pop up. But if both of them are recognized by the computer correctly, those symbols will pop up. Now, I have had a few problems with some of the USB-C cords that I use to go from the switcher to my computer. I had to try one and it didn't work. I actually had to try a few. So if it doesn't work the first time, don't think it's your switcher at first or your computer. Try a different USB-C to USB cable, because it could just be the cable. Certain manufacturers aren't supported by the switcher and it won't be recognized on your computer. So once you have that all set up, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on this little Windows icon here. This is going to pop up, and if you have it plugged in via USB, you will be able to update the IP address information here. Since I don't have it plugged in, it's not going to allow me, but I will pop up a graphic now, what it will look like. So once you have the IP address settings there, you're going to want to go to your computer IP address settings for your Ethernet, which for me, I am on a Mac. So all I had to do was go to System Preferences, and then I had to click on Network. And this is my Ethernet port here. Now the important things are your IP address and your subnet mask. Now it's not going to show it, but your ATEM Mini Pro software setup settings should be the same IP address and subnet mask as your Ethernet port IP address and subnet mask, except for the fourth set of numbers on your IP address. So your IP address, the first three sets of numbers, 192.168.10, should be the same. For your computer it may be different. But then the last set of numbers, the 50, can be different for your ATEM Mini Pro. So it can be 40, it can be 30, it just has to be different. And a lot of times there's already a fourth number there, so I just leave it. Fourth set of numbers there, so I just leave it. The important part that it is the exact same is the subnet mask. Your subnet mask must be the exact same thing. For me, it's 255.255.255.0. Now yours might be just two sets of 255s and then two zeros, or it might be 255s across the board. Whatever it is, you must have the exact same subnet mask number in here as in your IP address and subnet mask settings over here in the ATEM setup. Once you've done that, if you click save, it will recognize your ATEM Mini Pro because you are plugged in by USB. However, the number one change is going to be that your ATEM software control setup is going to recognize that you have an ATEM switcher plugged in. Beforehand, it would have just been a logo or a dialog box of some sort that says no switcher connected or nothing connected. With this software, you can do anything that the switcher can do and more. You have your program view of camera 1, 2, 3, 4, your preview view of camera 1, 2, 3, 4. You can add different medias, you can choose different colors, you can choose the rate at which the crossfade or the transition happens. You can manually crossfade or transition. You can check your palettes, your color palettes, your color 1 and color 2, and set those. Your upstream keys, downstream keys, transitions, and your fade to black settings. You can also go over to media players and set up a media player or a hyperdeck if you have one. Then if you go over to this output tab, you have your live stream settings where you select your platform, your server, your stream key, and the quality of your stream, and then you can hit go. You can also set recording and your quality of recording, whether you're going to record all of the cameras separately and different settings with that. You also have a capture video. If you have a capture video card, it'll allow you to choose the settings for capturing the video. And you have your timecode generator. In the next tab, you have media, which you can upload up to 20 still images. Your audio, which is going to be the tab where you can set your different cam audios and the different mic audios that are allowed in the switcher. And then in this camera tab, if you have a BlackMagic Pocket Cinema 4K or 6K camera, you will be able to adjust the color of those cameras from this camera tab here. So you can fine tune the look of your shot. There's also a settings cog over here where you can go over settings for audio, multi-view, labels, hyperdeck, and other things like that, like a remote. But in the general tab, you're going to be setting your stream settings. Right now mine's at 1080p 2997. You have a bunch of other different settings for that. After you have that all set up, we can go over the features of the ATEM Mini Pro front-facing panel. So, panel here has cameras 1, 2, 3, 4, which you can directly cut to just by pressing the button, or you can crossfade to each of the different inputs. Then next to that, you can have a still image or black appear on your program, so what you're streaming or what you're recording. You have the option to cut, auto, transition, or fade to black in between shots. Over here you have video out settings. Now before I start covering all of this stuff up here, I'm going to tell you what's in the back here. So in the back, we have 2 line microphone inputs. We have camera 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a HDMI out, a USB-C out, and a Ethernet and a power, which you've already plugged the Ethernet, the power, and the USB-C in. If you want to record your program, you would need to take this USB-C out to an external hard drive, similar to what I'm doing right now. Then you can plug your HDMI out can go to a monitor so that you can monitor different things, and that's what we'll cover next. This is the video out. So video out is going to pertain to your HDMI out here. This M/V is your multi-view out. Then you have camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and camera 4, and your program out. And if we want to look at what the multi-view looks like, we will switch over there real quick. So this is what the multi-view is going to look like. And if we want to monitor just camera 1, we can monitor it from there. If we just want to monitor camera 2, we can monitor camera 2. If we just want to monitor camera 3, that's going to give us some weird effects because I have a camera shooting at the monitor. And if we just want to monitor camera 4, we can do that as well. Or we can do our program out, which is also going to give us a weird looping window. Or we can go back to the multi-view, which is going to display the multi-view out. The multi-view out is going to give your preview in the top left, your program, which is what is being live streamed and recorded, on the top right. In the middle, it's going to go camera 1, 2, 3, and 4 from left to right. Then it's going to be media player at the bottom. Facebook is your streaming platform right now. That's mine, is my streaming platform. So it's going to list whatever streaming platform you're on, whether it be Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. Then it's going to be, the third one is going to be telling you whether you're recording and what you're recording to and how long you've been recording. And then your fourth one, bottom right, is going to be your audio levels. So if we switch back to the ATEM Mini Pro here, that is all of our video outs. We have different effects tabbed here. So mix is like crossfade transition or a mix transition. Dip is going to dip to a color when it transitions. And then it has different sliding or pushing transitions like push right, push left, push up, push down to transition to the next shot. You can also set the transition duration here with 0.5, 1.0, 1.5, and 2.0. If we jump up to here, picture in picture, that is going to give you the ability to turn on or off your picture in picture. So if I turn it on, you're gonna see the ATEM Mini Pro just in a smaller screen. You can change it whether it's top right, top left, bottom right. You can change it anywhere you want to, no matter where on the corners of the screen. Turn that off or on there. And then if we jump over to here, we will come back to this corner here. If we jump over here, we have the audio settings above each of the cameras. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we have the audio settings. We can turn it on or off, on or off. We can reset it back to what it normally was, and we can adjust the volume up or down on it as well. And that's individual settings for each of the camera 1, 2, 3, and 4. Up here we have audio settings for mic 1 and mic 2 on the back of the switcher. So you can turn them on or off, and you can turn them up and down in volume as well. And you can control the different audio for the 2 different mic inputs on the back here. So if we switch back over to the software control view, over here we can set the live stream settings and the record settings. And that is from the software. But if we switch back to the ATEM Mini Pro interface here, what we can see is we can, in this top right corner, we can turn the key on, so whether you're gonna chroma key or not. We can also stop or start recording to a disc. Now this disc light is going to appear green if you have a disc in that will work. If not, it won't appear green. It will appear red when you are recording to the disc. And over here you have the stream, whether it's off or on air. So you can actually start your stream directly from the ATEM Mini Pro interface here on the front panel. After getting your ATEM Mini Pro to be recognized by your computer using the ATEM Setup application, getting all of your cameras plugged in, your USB out to a hard drive so you can record, and everything set up, all you have to do is adjust your settings to your liking here, and you are ready to live stream. The last thing I want to mention before live streaming is this settings over here. Your frame rate for your program is very important. All of the cameras that you have plugged in must be set to that frame rate. So if your frame rate is 2997, your cameras have to be either capable of 30 frames per second or 2997, either of which won't matter. If you have it set at 50, if you have it set at 60 or 5997 or 5994, excuse me. The important part is that your camera frames per second must be the same as the frames per second for the streaming platform. Otherwise, the camera won't be recognized in the multi-view or by the switcher at all. So that's how to set up and get your computer to recognize your ATEM Mini Pro live production switcher and get you going on recording and live streaming a multi-camera live production. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next video.